The Bible teaches something that is vital to us. The Bible teaches that evil communications corrupt good manners. Every one of us need to be careful of who we're talking to and who's talking to us. Be careful in church of who you sit beside, who you come with, and who's whispering in your ear. The wrong person will mess you up. The Bible says in 1 Corinthians chapter 15 and verse 33, be not deceived. Evil communications corrupt good manners. That is bad company. Pamela, bad company. That's my granddaughter right there. Bad company. She just turned 15. Amen. We're so proud of her. Amen. Bad company corrupts good manners. Amen. We're all who we are as a result of both nature and nurture. Nurturing affects us all. What we watch, who we listen to, who talks to us. Yeah, the strongest of us are affected by what we hear. It is said that when they wanted to build more prisons and make more money off of prisoners, that the prison industrial complex, I don't know if it's true or not, I wasn't there, but it is said that they met with rappers. When rap first came on the scene in hip hop, the lyrics were basically clean. Basically clean. I was not necessarily a fan of it. You know, I was a crooner. I liked spinners, stylistics, love songs, things like that. So when hip hop came on the scene, and I was never too big of a fan of funk music. I didn't like that too much. But when hip hop came on the scene, that wasn't my thing, right? But it took off because people loved it. These people met with rappers, and, and they said, you need to change your lyrics. And you must admit, that was a lyrical change. All of a sudden, it became profanity laced, became filled with rebellion, um, cussing and swearing and shoot the police, calling our women names that you can't say in church. Um, um, Became to this day, the only genre of music I know of that denigrates uh, its own women. Most of your rappers back in the day were black. And it was black men calling our sisters hoes and bees and skeezers and stuff like that. And what made it even worse is the sisters bought the music. Man calling you a hoe and you dance to it. Calling you a female dog and you drop it like it's hot as he insults you. White man singing about California girls, calling them the best in the world. Amen. We sing about ours in this particular genre. Women weren't being praised, they were being denigrated. White people own the companies, but black folk own the mic. And when this shift happened and the music became more violent, guess what happened? Behavior became more violent. Yeah, behavior. They ushered in a culture. Who would have believed that a culture would come into, of all communities, ours, where if you study history, you will see that just given the history of the country and all that we've had to overcome, blacks always took pride in the way we presented ourselves in public. Always. especially on Sunday. Because in many cases at first, black man couldn't dress up any other day but on Sunday. We were studying in black history when I was in college that the same black man who was boy uh, uh, and N-word this and that and all these other things all through the week became reverend and deacon on Sunday. So it was a big deal. That's where we get terms like Sunday best, Sunday shoes, all that kind of thing, because that was special to us, and we cared. I'm going to preach in just a minute. We cared about the way we presented ourselves. Who would have thought that a genre of music would come in and where black men who took pride in their appearance would actually be seen in public with their pants hanging off their rears, showing your drawers, and no shame. No shame. Brothers aren't the only one who do that, but it's different when you're a minority. In that it's not, I didn't say it was fair. I said it was different. When you're in the minority, one clown, all of us get judged by the behavior of one. A white man can act the fool, and white folk view him as a foolish white man. A black man can act a fool, and they look at that one man and say, "Look at how black people are acting." That ain't people. That's one person. It's not me. I don't have anything in common with him. But that's the way we're judged. And here's the thing: we all know it. So it is reasonable for us to have a certain amount of pride. I can't believe that women would go out now in public, even get on the planes in pajamas. What do y'all call them? Have bonnets. You're all at the grocery store, looking like you just got out the bed. And then when people look at you, you ask them, you ready to fight them. What the you looking at? And you don't know what to say. Because anybody who will go out in public dressed like that, you can pretty much assume they lack the. It's not that you scared they could beat you up. It ain't that. It ain't that at all. It's just that you don't want to be in a position like that. So you just avoid. But look at what has happened to us. I see people with grills on. They're gonna just ruin your teeth. Just all that stuff and 50 chains, and you live in the project. Explain it. Oh yeah. You talking about misplaced priorities. Your car should never cost more than your house. Never, ever. So that's a sign that you don't have good sense. See, I'm headed somewhere. I'm talking about grooming, nurture, exposure. What happens when we hear the wrong things and these things go unchallenged? If people hear the wrong thing over and over and over and they go unchallenged, then those wrong things begin to sound like right things. They become, we adapt them as part of our culture. If it's just a black thing to wear an earring in your ear, that's not a black thing. I tell you what, it's really not. It's really not an African thing. Now, it may be an African American thing. But I talk to people who are missionaries and evangelists in Africa. Africans males don't put earrings in their ears. Now, how you feel sitting there with your hole in your ear? Man, this is a black thing. This is an African thing. No, not on the continent of Africa. No, them brothers ain't going for that. That's an African American thing where we've been fed lies. But you didn't hear anything to counter that lie. Because Rev was more interested in getting you to come back and get paid than telling you the truth and risk you getting mad and storming out because you know you don't have the ability to sit through anything that may challenge your sensibilities. I can imagine what people say when they hear someone say stuff like that. Who do he think he is? The preacher who loves you. Love you enough to tell you the truth. Love you enough to tell you the truth. I don't hate you so much that I'll tell you what you want to hear. I love you enough to tell you the truth. All of that. And but we've been told that stuff, see. So people don't hear the other side. And so we're accepting things as black culture. That's not black culture. It may be recent culture. The black man didn't wear his hair like a woman. My mama made me get my hair cut. A certain look that we had to have. Some of these NBA stars are leading us the wrong way. What's bad when a man's 6'9", 6'6"? I don't care if he's 3'1", if he's a male and he puts on a dress. An athlete with painted fingernail. Don't bring that up in here.